Welcome to the AutoSys training video. By the end of this video, you will learn how to enable secure HTTPS communication between the AutoSys Manager and the Workload Automation Agent using TLS encryption. Modern IT environments present unprecedented complexity. Organizations now manage diverse ecosystems spanning on-premises infrastructure, multi-cloud environments, and containerized applications, all interconnected and interdependent. Your critical workloads do not operate in isolation. They traverse this entire landscape, moving data and executing processes across traditional servers, cloud-native services, Kubernetes clusters, and hybrid cloud platforms. The complexity of your workloads multiplies with modern deployment patterns. This interconnected, multi-environment architecture creates significant security challenges, as each communication point between the AutoSys components can become a potential vulnerability. AutoSys Workload Automation introduces native, robust, and flexible secure communication between the AutoSys scheduler or application server and the Workload Automation agents, addressing the critical needs of modern enterprises. The new HTTPS communication over TLS protocol supports encrypted AutoSys Manager agent communication to protect job definitions, commands, logs, and output files in transit. Secure TLS SSL handshake using industry-standard TLS handshakes to automatically negotiate the highest level of security. Supports one-way and two-way TLS modes. In one-way TLS communication mode, the client authenticates the server before establishing a secure connection, but the server does not authenticate the client. This approach is common in scenarios where server authenticity is critical, but client authenticity is not required. In two-way or mutual TLS communication mode, client and server authenticate each other during the handshake process, establishing bidirectional trust. The two-way TLS communication mode is appropriate for environments that require strong, mutual authentication for every connection. AutoSys supports modern architectures by running agents natively in containers behind an ingress and using TLS to keep all communication between AutoSys and agents secure. Now, let's cover the end-to-end process to enable secure HTTPS communication between AutoSys Manager and the agent using one-way TLS communication. Prerequisites. Before you begin, ensure you have administrative privileges on the AutoSys Manager to modify configuration files and restart services. AutoSys Engine and agents are on version 24.1. Java JRE 17 or 21 is installed to support enhanced security features and certificate generation functions. Prepare your certificates and other cryptographic assets. Contact your IT administrators or security operators to obtain the necessary cryptographic assets before configuring secure communication using one-way or mutual TLS. To ensure secure TLS communications in AutoSys deployments, follow these environment-specific recommendations. For test environments, generate certificates using AutoSys TLS certificate generation tools for quick validation of TLS configurations. These tools generate self-signed certificates only and are intended for testing purposes, not for production use. For production environments, contact your IT administrators or security administrators to obtain third-party CA certificates that meet organizational security and compliance standards. AutoSys provides dedicated Java-based tools to generate TLS certificates tailored for both AutoSys Manager and Agent. The Manager and Agent certificate generation tools are available in the AutoSys Workload Automation ISO. Ensure you mount the AutoSys Workload Automation ISO and copy the TLS certificates directory to a local folder where you have write permissions to generate the certificates. To start the certificate generation, navigate to the TLS certificates folder. Update the certconfig.properties file to match your environment certification requirements. Generate the required root CA, client, server certificates, and the private keys for AutoSys Manager using Manager Certificate Generation tool. The generated certificates and keys for the AutoSys Manager are stored in the respective timestamp directory under the working path. Update the certconfig.properties file to generate certificates for agent. Generate key stores, trust stores, root CA, server, client certificates, and the private keys for agent using Agent Certificate Generation tool. For more information, refer to the product documentation for TLS certificate generation process. The next step in the enabling HTTPS communication is to configure the AutoSys Manager and the agent using One-Way TLS mode. In this mode, the TLS client initiates a secure communication with a TLS server. The TLS server presents the server certificate from its key store during the TLS handshake. The TLS client validates the certificate as per the configured SSL properties. After successful certificate validation, the TLS client and server establish an encrypted communication channel for secure data transmission. In this demo, we will configure secure one-way HTTPS communication, where the AutoSys Manager and the agent communicate securely using TLS certificates. This configuration ensures encrypted data transmission while maintaining authentication through server-side certificate verification. We will walk through each task required to configure and validate one-way TLS communication between the AutoSys Manager and the agent. Let's begin by preparing the cryptographic assets for both the manager and the agent. We have already generated internal certificates using the Manager and Agent Certificate Generation tools. The manager will use the following TLS protocols and cipher suites to securely communicate with the agent. Update the SSL config file to configure the AutoSys Manager for one-way communication. Ensure you have the following cryptographic assets and their location details. Before you start configuration, generate the encrypted passphrase for the private key using AutoSys_secure. With all prerequisites in place, follow these steps to configure the AutoSys Manager for one-way communication. Navigate to the directory containing the slconfig instance name file and open it. Configure the TLS protocol versions and cipher suites. If no value is provided, AutoSys uses the default protocol and automatically selects a compatible cipher suite. Configure the root CA path and server certificate verification properties. For more information, refer to the product documentation for TLS communication modes configuration. Configure the server certificate and private key paths for HTTPS listening ports. Set the client certificate verification property to false to configure the AutoSys Manager for one-way TLS communication. Save the SSL properties file. This completes the AutoSys Manager configuration in one-way TLS communication. Next, configure the HTTPS listening ports for the AutoSys Manager scheduler or application server. To configure HTTPS listening ports, navigate to the AutoSys Manager configuration file location and open the file. Set the scheduler auxiliary HTTPS and application server auxiliary HTTPS listening ports. Save the configuration file. Ensure these ports are unique and do not conflict with any other service. Next, restart the AutoSys Manager services and verify that the manager is ready to communicate with HTTPS agents. Restart the AutoSys Manager services using the following commands. Review the scheduler service log to verify HTTPS readiness. Review the application server service log to verify HTTPS readiness. The log entries indicate that the AutoSys Manager is ready to communicate with HTTPS agents alongside TCP/IP agents. Next, Let's configure the agent for one-way communication by setting specific receiver and transmitter properties in the agent parm file. Before you begin, ensure that you have the following cryptographic assets and their locations. Generate the encrypted password for the key store and trust store. Navigate to the agent parm text file location and open the file. Configure the HTTPS input port and receiver communication type. Set the receiver properties to configure the agent for HTTPS communication. AutoSys supports JKS, PKCS12, and BCFKS keystore types. This configuration uses PKCS12. Specify supported TLS protocol versions and cipher suites. Specify the transmitter properties to transmit communication responses securely in one-way TLS communication. The TLS protocol versions and cipher suites must align with the manager configuration to ensure successful negotiation. Save the agentparm.txt file. Now restart the agent and verify that the agent is ready for secure HTTPS communication with the AutoSys Manager. To restart the agent, use the following command. Look for log entries indicating the agent is ready to handle HTTPS communications. The log entries indicate that the agent is ready to communicate with AutoSys Manager over HTTPS alongside TCP/IP communication. Next, define or update the machine with the HTTPS URI. Then verify that the manager and agent communicate successfully over HTTPS. Before proceeding, note that both machine and job configurations can be performed using either JIL or the Web UI. In this demo, we will be using JIL. For Web UI-based configuration, refer to the AutoSys documentation or the Enabling HTTPS Communication with Two-Way TLS Encryption video. In traditional TCP/IP agents, the machine definition contains the node name and port attributes. In the new HTTPS implementation, the machine definition must include the HTTPS address in the agent URI attribute. For this demo, we have already created a machine definition with an HTTPS URI. To verify the HTTPS communication, run the autorep command with the M option. The command must return the machine status as online. Run the autoping command with the M option. The command must return success. This verifies the HTTPS communication between the AutoSys Manager and the agent. Next, let's create a job definition that uses the HTTPS machine and perform a test run. Insert the job definition with an HTTPS machine. Start the job and verify the job status. Review the job status output to verify the job execution details. AutoSys displays the success state for the job, indicating that the job executed successfully using HTTPS communication between the manager and agent. Thank you for watching this AutoSys training video.